So 80% win rate strategy on the charts. I'm going to show you what it is, and then I'm going to find some over the past week or so that I've been taking in terms of trades. Please do like, subscribe, leave a comment, and if you do want signals or alerts for this, if I can get my words out, you can get them in the description below. So very simply, what we're looking for is accumulation on the charts, manipulation below a liquidity level to get taken, and then distribution, and we're looking to catch that distribution leg back to the upside with a fair value gap like this. Once we close back above the fair value gap after that nice liquidity sweep, we're looking to enter here, target a 1-for-1. Stop losses are closed back below the fair value gap down here. No hard stops used by me, and then I'll take half my position off at a 1-for-1, which would be here, and then I'll be looking to have liquidity points back up through the V shape, usually back to the top, and then I'll leave a runner for all-time highs since we're pretty close to all-time highs. And this is the strategy. It's very, very simple, and I'm going to go through some examples here now and show you exactly what I mean. There's actually a good example of one right now. If we did get it, this would potentially be a good trade. You can see on the 5-minute here, pretty obvious consolidation, clear liquidity sweep. We've got our accumulation. This is our manipulation, and if we did get our distribution like this would be a really nice trade, as you can see. Got a pretty obvious area of fair value here, probably all the way up to this level, to be honest, although you could technically take this one here. I would probably wait for all of these gaps to be filled, but you can see if this did come up like this and close back up here like this in the next few candles, this would be a good potential trade to take here. You've obviously got a pretty big stop loss on it though, so I'd probably go break even before I get to the 1-for-1, probably at this candle here, just because you don't know if we're going to break this final gap in the leg here back to the upside. But generally these V shapes like this are what you're looking for. This would be a good trade if it played out. I'll come and check back later and see if that's making any progress. That was obviously on the 5-minute. There was a pretty interesting 1-minute yesterday, which I thought was such a good textbook trade, to be honest. Let's just take a look here and see if we've got any other trades that would have potentially worked. There was a potential 1-minute here as well, wasn't there? Let's just take a look at this. You can see we've got a pretty obvious accumulation. As you can see, accumulation here, we get our manipulation below. We start to bounce here, we get our second manipulation leg, which is usually an interesting sign. Pretty obvious fair value gap area here, as you can see. You could have entered on this candle here, targeted your 1-for-1. You would have got your 1-for-1 out of this pretty much in the space of next candle. So 2 minutes for your 1-for-1 there. You can obviously take half off, go break even on the rest. And then you could have targeted back up through your V shape like this. Obviously this one didn't work out because I think we had news which dumped the market, but that would have been a nice scale half and break even on the rest trade there. No harm in taking those. As you can see, we did get some profit out of it before getting stopped out on the rest. Just looking across the market here, not too much going through Asia session here. A lot of accumulation, not much liquidity sweeping going on. Pretty interesting trade here that you could have taken. This was a massive one as well. We did have a liquidity sweep of this candle here, as you can see. Coming back to the upside, we've got this big obvious fair value gap. You probably could have taken it all the way down to here, to be honest. Taking it on the break here. For this particular one, I think I did take was it a 3-minute? I was waiting for a higher time frame confirmation, which made my stop loss more manageable as well. You can see we had this 3-minute here as well. I think I ended up taking this one, which would have been a 1-for-1, as you can see. And then obviously it scaled half and went break even on the rest. So another scale half break even trade, which happened for me yesterday during market open. It was a half day yesterday, so the volume was very low. So I only took it with a small amount of size. But that would have been another good trade that would have worked out. There was one in London session as well, which was a really nice one, which I'll show you now. As you can see on the 1-minute time frame here, accumulation, we get our manipulation below, we get another accumulation. We get this drop to the downside followed by this really big momentum candle back up. Lovely, lovely area of fair value here, as you can see. You could have taken this or you could have taken this, depending on how big your stop loss is. I usually take the entire V shape as a stop loss in these instances, in case we do come down, close below and then pump up again. But you can see this one would have worked as well. Targeting a 1-for-1. We accumulate for about 10 minutes. We come up, we get the 1-for-1. And then I would have had runners about halfway up the V shape and then at the high. And as you can see, these both would have gotten hit for a nice 1 to 3. 1 to 2, 1 to 3. Obviously, if I'm scaling half on the way up, it's probably going to be more like a 1 to 1, 1 to 2. But still a fantastic trade. a very, very good example of this strategy. I'm really not going to do too much else for you, to be honest, guys, because I think you're getting the idea. You can go check out my other videos as well. But overall, a really good strategy to try. There was one here as well, which would have worked. This was quite an interesting one. It didn't have such an obvious liquidity sweep, but this one would have also worked here, as you can see. Pretty obvious fair value gap, which is what you're looking for. This one on my broker, I remember it closed above by a tick, so I did end up taking it. As you can see, it would have worked out as well. There's loads and loads of examples of great trades on this chart. You can see them all over the place here. Another example here, pretty obvious accumulation, manipulation below. Fair value gap here on the 1 minute. Once we close back above, really good momentum candle there. You can see we come up, we hit the 1 for 1. We come down and get break even straight away on the rest. That's just what price action's been like in August. Hopefully going into September, things start cleaning up as they often do. Summer price action can be very, very choppy like this. As you can see, we've had quite a lot of sideways movement, not much expansion in general. But overall, a really good strategy. Definitely go check it out for yourself. Like and subscribe, leave a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. Make sure you get signals and alerts in the description below if you want. And I'll catch you in the next video. Cheers.